Just on the Queen, you mentioned the Royal Windsor Horse Show, 2.5 hours of a horse-based spectacle. There was music and comedy. Tom Cruise, Helen Mirren. I love the comedian's joke right at the end when he said, "Your Royal Highness, on behalf of everyone here, I'd like to humbly thank you for choosing us over the state opening of Parliament." The Queen looked okay. She gave a waving response. I mean, this gladdened the hearts of many. And as a measure of her popularity when she arrived by car, the crowd just stood and kept on cheering. She loves her horses, though, doesn't she?
Well, she definitely prefers horses to politicians. I think that's,
Yes.
that's without doubt. I've had several people tell me that actually she perhaps decided to give the politicians a miss in favour of the horses. So, honestly, who would blame her? She's had,
I know.
she's had over 70 years of it. And
yeah.
I mean,
but she's got an intimate knowledge. She's got an intimate knowledge of her horses. I mean, what would have delighted her most was seeing her own horses led through the arena, the Shire horses, the thoroughbreds, and then her own fell pony, Carlton Lima Emma. I should say to our viewers, a fell pony is those tiny little things. They're a working breed of mountain pony. So she obviously got a lot of pleasure out of all of that. Now, to serious matters of state, Starmer, the leader of the opposition. Are British police under pressure to fine Keir Starmer if any coronavirus breach is proven?
I think it's the opposite way around. I think Starmer has come out and said, "I will resign," to put pressure on the police not to fine him and not to find him guilty, because he's posing them a black and white situation where he will go. But, it's becoming increasingly difficult to see how he can avoid it. He's failed to tell the truth. I'm not going to say lie, but people can take their own interpretation of it. He's failed to tell the truth significantly on 4 occasions about this. Firstly, he said his deputy wasn't there, and she was. Angela Rayner was there. Secondly, he said only 6 people were at the event. Then he said 15. Then 20, it turns out, were at the event. Thirdly, they said it wasn't pre-planned. It was in a memo. It was pre-planned. And fourthly, they said it was just a break in work. Well, it appears that they all went to bed afterwards, so that wasn't a break in work at all. And it's looking pretty bad for him, I have to say, especially somebody who's been grandstanding and virtue signalling for months now on the whole Partygate issue.
Isn't it true that 3 months before this Beergate incident involving Starmer and his Labor colleagues, the National Police amended their COVID advice to get tougher on rule breakers, and there was a surge in fines across the country, which would make you wonder how Starmer could avoid a fine?
Well, I don't see how he could avoid a fine. I mean, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rishi Sunak, literally got fined for walking into a meeting early where a cake happened to be sitting on the table. So if that is now the bar for a fine, I mean, we've talked about this before, but it just shows how ridiculous these lockdown rules were over COVID.
How can Starmer
if that's the
say
bar for a fine? Then how can Starmer get away?
How can Starmer say he didn't break any rules? I mean, I know the poll has found that not too many Britons believe him.
No, in fact, about 7 in 10 Brits don't believe him at all and think he should be fined. I don't know. I mean, politicians can brazen it out until they run out of road. We've seen it time and time again. And I think that's what Starmer's doing, in the hope that the police won't find him guilty.